What's going on, guys? This is Team Gohan Fighter, back another video, and today I'm going to do my Dragon Ball Super Episode 4 review. And it was a very, very solid episode. I really, really enjoyed this episode. Basically, the plot, okay, yeah, as we all know, is the birthday, Bulma's birthday. Beerus is coming to, confront Goku and all that stuff. This was a really good episode. I can honestly say this was the first episode where I was like, "Ah, crap, it's over with." That was where it was like, when they got to the end, it was like, "Oh, dang," So there was that. So, they start up the episode, and, Goku's on King Kai's planet, obviously, as we know. You got, Vegeta, still training. They're on a ship, by the way. They're on a ship, and, they're on for the birthday party, for Bulma's birthday party. They were on a ship, basically, and so Bulma, they were all talking, with all the party people. They end up getting to a thing where it's like, I think Chi was saying something about, the richest person here. I remember Hercule was giving Boo some food, which he ate immediately. So they're having fun because it's a birthday party, and and so you got them talking about the bingo thing, because there was prizes. Second prize got a castle. First prize is going to get the Dragon Balls, but they kind of changed the format of how they did it in Battle of Gods, because that was sort of not how the format was aligning. Android 18 is like, all over this, because she wants it. She's like, oh, yay, I got 3 chances, with the kid, you, and me. We have, 3 chances to, win this thing, basically, to get second prize. They want to get second prize. He's like, didn't you hear about, Krillin's like, didn't you hear about first prize? It's like, well, where do they get the castle, like, oh, God, Android 18 still Android 18. I wonder if she got paid. Did she get paid by Hercule yet? Because remember Hercule or Android 18 threatened Hercule in the Buu saga, like to give him him the money, the prize money, or whatever. She had to give him the prize. He had to give her the prize money if he wanted to win, basically, or something. I wonder what happened there. I wonder if they mentioned that. But yeah, 18, Krillin, they're talking it over, and then Trunks and Gotenks kind of go off, and they basically go in this room where all the prizes are, and he takes off the security stuff and things. Way different from the way Battle of Gods was. There was no big like security thing like that, and the Dragon Balls were just kind of like up in the open, really. In Battle of Gods, where here there's like security, but you could just unplug it, and then there goes the security. So that's kind of a little flawed, if you ask me. One thing I noticed about this is, and I'll get to another scene later on, is that the Dragon Balls can't be detected when they are secluded into the security system. Like, they can't even be tracked by a Dragon Radar, which I thought was really interesting to notice. Which I'll get more into that later, but that was one thing to note about, what Gotenks and Trunks were doing in that sequence. Goku, of course, was still on King Kai's plan, and they were talking for a while. And Goku eventually got to the point where he was using his weights and stuff like that. But he then he actually practices. We finally get to see Goku do the Kamehameha for the first time in Dragon Ball Super. I was actually doing it was like Kamehameha, and he freaking threw it around the freaking the King Guy's planet or whatever, and he freaking tested himself to stop it or whatever. And after he did that, King Guy was not happy. King Kai was not happy about that. Like he's like, I have to live here. We get to a scene with Vegeta, where Bulma calls up Vegeta, or the Capsule Corp person, like, says, it's Bulma, and he's like, I'm not going to the party or whatever. And Bulma's is all pissed off, and he's like, you have to go, and the freaking phone ends up blowing up or whatever. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Um, there was actually now is also a scene where Emperor Pilong and his goons were on the ship, and or not on the ship yet, but like they were on an island. They were on an island, but I'm jumping the gun on that. We still don't know why May, or no, Mai. I'm sorry, Mai. We still don't know why Mai is a little kid. Like, she's a kid. And they didn't tell us why they didn't tell her why, like, I mean, it has to be because of the Dragon Balls. They had to have used the Dragon Balls to make her a kid. That's the only explanation. But I wish they would explain it. Because they don't explain it, why she's a kid. God damn. Why did they not explain it? I was hoping that they were going to say something about it. Like, that, I was hoping that they were going to say something about her. Like why she's just a kid now instead of like an adult. They kind of Kira Toriyama kind of like stole the thing from GT basically and was like, okay, GT, you decided to make Goku a freaking kid, so like I'm gonna make my a kid. I'm gonna make Mai a kid. Because like it's punishment. I feel like they did that. I feel like he did do that on purpose though. Like I feel like he did that. Like I feel like Kira Toriyama was like, you know what, is GT crap. Like nah, not feeling it. So like I'm gonna make Mai like a kid now. I don't know why he did that, but I wish he would at least explain why. Why? We didn't get it in Battle of Gods, and we haven't got it yet in Super. Maybe we'll get it at some point, someday, but hopefully. So basically, they're fishing. Pilon was fishing, but he has a dragon radar, and all of a sudden, while Trunks and Kid Trunks and Gotenks were like, snooping around with the Dragon Balls, he sees them, and like he sees the ship, so he knows it's on the ship. And then he actually drops the dragon radar and in the water, and while he's trying to get this fish, he loses it, and then he ends up picking up the dragon radar and says, "There's 7 Dragon Balls here, so we can go get the Dragon Balls. We can go get the Dragon Balls." And, then when he shows them the Dragon Radar, it doesn't show it anymore because Kid Trunks and Gotenks closed it and put it back in the security system. Which, again, to me, this whole security system can, like, conceal Dragon Balls, which to me is kind of weird. That this security system can actually force the Dragon Radar to not pick them up. Like, that's something, like, I don't understand, like, how that is possible there, for them to be able to do that. But because of that, they think he's hallucinating and stuff. He's like, "No, let's go. We gotta go in the boat or whatever." And they go in this boat, and it's like sinking or whatever. It's getting water in it, and they're trying to pedal and they're trying to do this and that, and so then eventually they can't pedal anymore, and so it's sinking, and Then a shark gobbles up the boat, and then they try to eat him, and then they're like climbing up the ship or whatever, which is so unrealistic. But they climb up the ship and magically get away from the shark. And then eventually Kid Trunks and Gotenks like gives them a ladder and lets them up into the ship, and they're grateful for it. And then they, basically tell what they're looking for, and they were about to say Dragon Balls, but they say Dragon. They stop themselves, and then they come up with an excuse. And so then Kid Trunks and Gotenks like invite them to have some food. They originally say no, we're not charity, or Emperor Pilon says that we're not charity. And then later on, they're like, "Oh, we really want this food." And so then they offer them more food right in front of them, and then they just eat it, like, because they're really hungry. So, it's kind of what happens there with Emperor Pilon. Chuck as Emperor Pilon, very good by performance by Chuck. He's also the guy who voices Android 17, by the way, and Garlic Jr. for the Dragon Ball Z filler dub and movie. Movie redub movie. Okay, yeah, that's right. So yeah, I mean, it's going along pretty nicely. And then we kind of get to the end, and King Kai accidentally blurs out, basically, about Beerus, and so Goku's like, "Who's Beerus?" He's like, "Oh, I know. That's why you've been acting, so strange around me." Because earlier in the episode, King Kai wanted him to go to Bulma's birthday party because he realizes Beerus is coming to his planet, basically. Which Beerus, there was actually a scene too where Beerus is like, he says we're about 10 minutes away from North Kai's place, and he's like, "I'm going to find the Super Saiyan God," that stuff too while they're traveling, with Whis. So there was that. And then King Kai is like, "Oh, I know what why you've been like acting so strange lately." And so then they get to a point where it's like, basically, it's okay, fine, I'll tell you who Beerus is. He's a deity, basically, and he wants destruction. One thing I did not like about this sequence was they basically were saying that it's kind of strange because the way this is how I depicted it. And it was really strange, and this could have been a dialogue thing, but this was a really strange dialogue because they said that King Kai, and I'm going to be watching it again later on when it comes on at 11:30, but one thing I really noticed about this scene was that they basically said that Beerus, was essentially, like the opposite of, King Kai, or not King Kai, I'm sorry, Supreme Kai. The Supreme Kai, is the deity, of lightness and all goodness and stuff like that, and life. And Beerus is basically the destruction. But what they were comparing is that they were comparing the two to being on par with one another. That I didn't like, because they basically were trying to say that Supreme Kai and Beerus were essentially just as equal in strength. Or at least that's what I got at when the dialogue was coming up, which obviously we know for fuck's sure that, excuse my French, that we know for sure that Supreme Kai is nowhere near on the level of Beerus. So that was the one thing I did not like about that dialogue. There was something about that dialogue that really annoyed me, and I'm going to watch it again because maybe I misunderstood what they were saying, but at least from what I gathered from that particular dialogue, that didn't make sense, because the way they worded it, I felt the way King Kai was wording it, it felt like he was trying to say that Supreme Kai and Beerus were on the same level, which we all know Supreme Kai is nowhere near at the level Beerus is at. We know that for a fact. Like Supreme Kai is not even as strong as Goku. Okay, so like to say that like they're on the same level or whatever, or imply that because that's what I felt that they were implying. I mean, I know they were comparing that Beerus is the destruction god, and Supreme Kai and the Kais are basically trying to preserve life and stuff like that. But at the same time, I felt they went a little overboard with the dialogue and kind of miss missed something. They could have missed something there. There was something there that just didn't feel right about that whole the way King Kai described that sequence. Um, Another thing, after he described this, what Beerus was and what Beerus was about, Goku immediately jumped on it. Was like, oh, well, he's a bad guy, right? Goku being Goku because, like, and he said it, so he's a bad guy, right? Because Goku is that guy where it's like he becomes a superhero when he has to be. We all know. And so he was like, he's a bad guy, so he's getting ready. He was getting all his beast mode ready up in here. And King Kai was like, no, he's not like that. He destroys something if someone pisses him off, basically. Or, the smallest thing pisses him off, basically. And Goku then starts making these jokes about broccoli, if he, if someone didn't eat his broccoli and stuff like that. And King Kai eventually gets all in a panic and stuff like that and is like, yes, 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 okay? So, like, Goku being Goku, of course, gotta have that funny stuff in there. And then King Kai, really senses him, so he's like, Goku, the house or whatever. So he hides him into the house, and then King Kai's there, and then next thing it's like we see is, what are you doing, King Kai, or whatever. Beerus is just like, comes right in there, and you just hear Beerus, just interrupts King Kai, and it's like, oh shit, Beerus is there. And you see Whis. First you see Whis, and Goku's like, oh, so that's Beerus, but he's looking at Whis, he's not looking at Beerus. And then Beerus comes out, and he's like right there. And, for the first time, like right when that episode ended, right when you see Beerus, like on King Kai's planet like that, and he just looks at him and stuff like that, I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then the episode ended, and I was so salty. I was like, that was the first episode where I was like, oh shit. Like it ended. I was like, next time on Dragon Ball Z, people. I was like, oh, I want to see more. That was like the first one where I was like, yeah, I want to see more. I was like, that was the first episode where I was really glued to it. Like, I was like, oh, no, 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 don't end it. And it ended, and I was so salty. I was like, nah. I really liked this episode. I just think there was like kind of a mistake with the whole sequence that King Kai was describing to Goku. I'm not sure, but I think it was, because I don't understand how you could say that, oh, King Kai or Supreme Kai and Beerus are kind of like on the same level when they're clearly not. Beerus is clearly stronger than Supreme Kai. Like no, like that's not even up. Because, like, if Supreme Kai was on the same level as Beerus, okay, he could have easily destroyed Majin Buu. He didn't need Goku and all those other people. He wouldn't have need us. He wouldn't need Goku, he wouldn't need Gohan, he wouldn't need Vegeta. Like, no. Like, Supreme Kai is nowhere near on the same level as Beerus. Like, that was some bullshit right there. Like, I don't know. I could have misheard it, but that's what I thought I heard. I thought I heard that. And I was like, I don't think so. So, yeah, that was one thing that kind of really bugged me, guys. So, I don't know. Maybe I misheard it. I don't know. But I'm gonna watch it again at 11:30 Eastern time. So, maybe it was different. I don't know. But when I heard that, I was like, I don't think so. I don't think so about that one. Um, so that was my review for Dragon Ball Super Episode 4. Obviously, next week is going to be the infamous Episode 5, which everyone in the fan base pretty much knows as the horrible animation episode. But luckily for us, we're probably going to get the Japanese Blu-ray animation version that was released originally on Blu-ray for Japanese television, only of course dub, because that's usually how it works now. For animes, we usually get the stuff that was already released in Japan for English television, so we're probably not going to have to worry about it. I know there were some touch-ups with it, but it could still not be as good. I'm not sure exactly, but I know that episode's coming, but this is going to be the first fight of the thing, too. Well, that's the thing, too. This is the first fight. And they had a horrible animation for this. That sucks. And just imagine the people that watched it originally. Oh yeah. At least we don't have to. At least we won't have to see that on television. We won't have to see the original version, which is good. We'll see a better version. It won't be as good. It could have probably been better, but at least it will be better than what it would have been if we got the original televised version from Japan. Um, that episode's coming next. Coming up next. If you like this video, please comment and subscribe and rate and all that good stuff. I do have a Patreon if you support my contents. Also, I do have communities. A Dragon Ball Z English dub community, as well as a Dragon Ball Super English dub only community for both. Links will be in the description box for that. That's about it, guys. Really enjoyed this episode. Just, I think, one error, like I said, with the exception of all the other stuff I said from the first episode review, with the theme song not being translated in English word for word. Same with the endings and that stuff. Still, that's kind of a moot point at this point. But the exception of that questionable thing that King Kai stated, I thought it was a very good episode. I was really into this episode. Like, really into this episode. I was literally glued to this episode. I might actually watch it. I might watch it on demand too, on my cable. That's how good it was. I've watched a couple of them again on demand. I just haven't had time to watch all at once. But I really would watch this again. Like, I'm gonna watch it again at 11:30 because I watch it 2 times. I watch it at 8 o'clock, to do the review, and then I watch it at 11:30. But then sometimes I do watch it on demand because I do have cable and I can watch it on demand. They have it on demand for, I don't know how long they have them on demand for, but I know they have them on demand for cable. That's another thing too, by the way. If you guys have Time Warner Cable, or if you have, I know it's going to be tough for some people because Funimation now, their app service or stream service doesn't have them up yet. They do have the subtitle version up on Crunchyrolls and Funimation Now, because Funimation Now and Crunchyrolls are actually in a partnership right now. So if you're into the Japanese subtitle version, which I know a lot of you guys are because a lot of you guys were illegally watching it when it wasn't licensed yet, but you all know who you were. But if you guys like to watch that, I'm not sure exactly what episodes they have up, so don't, quote me on that, but if you guys like the subtitle version, go check that out. I don't know when Funimation will have the stream service available for the dub yet. I'm not sure if Toonami, for anyone who doesn't know, Adult Swim also has a stream service on their website. Not an app service, it's a website. It's just website exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. It's a gold membership. I think it's like $6 a month or something. and they also do a lot of. They also air a lot of their anime titles that they have for Toonami on their stream service. I'm not sure if they have the Dragon Ball Super dub, so don't quote me on that. But I do know that they do have anime services available for all their titles that they have picked up, including ones that they have had for Funimation in the past. So that's one thing to check out. If it, I do not know, so do not quote me on that, but that's something to check out for people that are wondering where they else they can watch it. Adult Swim's stream service is available. Also, Funimation now has the subtitle version out legally for people to watch, as well as Crunchyroll. Again, Adult Swim is something to check out because, again, they do have a website service for all their anime titles that they do air on Toonami. So, and then also Time Warner Cable or whatever. I don't know what any other cable. I don't know about the other cable networks, but I do know Time Warner Cable. If you do have like a premium cable package, they do have them available for a while on demand because I have watched them on demand. So that's another thing to check out. So those are a couple of ways to watch Dragon Ball Super legally right now, at least. So that's about it, guys. I am a Team Gohan fighter, and I'm out of here. Peace.